Brock Purdy is one of the best quarterbacks going into the 2020 college football season. Many of you probably do not know the pretty crazy journey he had to take to get to this point. Brock came out of nowhere in 2018, and now it looks like he could potentially go down as the best quarterback in Iowa State football history. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the rise of Brock Purdy, his Iowa State career so far, and what kind of career trajectory he is on. But first, if you love college football, be sure to subscribe to the channel and help me reach 6,000 subscribers by the end of August. If you clicked on this video, then I know you like football, so why not hit that button? What do you have to lose? Be sure to smash that like button, drop a future video suggestion, and turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload. Now let's get started with the rise of Brock Purdy. In case you don't know, Brock has a brother named Chuba, who is also a big-time quarterback, as he will be a freshman at Florida State this upcoming year. But that's for another video some other day. Brock Purdy was born in the southwestern part of the country, as he was raised in Arizona. He loved football from a young age, and always took a liking to playing quarterback. The Purdy family grew up in Chandler, Arizona, and Brock would eventually go on to play for Perry High School. He started as a high school sophomore and was really good. Over the next 3 years, he torched 6A level competition and was on track to set records. He was one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the state, and he was playing at a high level against good teams. So why exactly was he not getting a lot of recruiting interest? Brock had almost given up on the idea of playing college football, as by the time he was a senior, he really didn't have a noteworthy offer. He wondered if he should have pursued baseball full-time, and as a religious man, he was losing patience with God, but he trusted the process. I literally cannot find anything on the internet as to why he wasn't recruited heavily, except for the fact that he got mono before his junior year, and he could have went to big-time camps during that time. But I guess he truly just went under the radar. That was until the end of his senior year at least. Before then, he would go to local camps and play in 7v7 regional games, but his best offer was UNLV. He spent his weekends training with high-profile Oregon quarterback Tyler Shaw, but nothing was really happening. Going into his senior year though, his mentality remained strong, and he led his school team to the state final, where they were matched up against Phoenix Mountain Point High School. In that game, he would go on to torch the other team in front of some scouts, and this is where things finally began to go in favor of him. On the season, he set a 6A season record for passing yards with 4,405 and 57 touchdowns. At first, he was getting attention from schools such as Southern Utah, but he knew if he got his team to the state title game, everything was going to change. As I said earlier, that's exactly what he did, and he dominated when he got there. Things really changed when in December, he was offered a preferred walk-on position from Nick Saban at Alabama. Within 24 hours, a coach from Kansas visited him, and then Boise State offered. A lot of kids would have jumped on that offer, but Purdy wanted to wait it out and wait till the second signing period to get better offers. Suddenly, he got an offer from Alabama and UCF, and schools were offering him left and right. He went on a visit to Iowa State, where he was greeted by Cyclones fans chanting, "We want Brock," and he said he felt like home. He eventually visited Texas A&M too, and got to talk to Nick Saban, but he already knew where he wanted to go. He ended up committing to Matt Campbell and became the 2018 quarterback for Iowa State. Brock was a late riser, but he had trusted the process, and everything worked out for him. According to 24/7 Sports, Purdy was a 3-star recruit, the number 6 pro-style quarterback, and the 839th best player in the class of 2018. But like he had done his entire life, he was about to prove to the world he deserved to be ranked higher. Going into the 2018 season, Iowa State was in their third year under head coach Matt Campbell, who had made the Cyclones relevant for the first time in years. I actually made a video about how Matt Campbell built Iowa State a few weeks ago, and I will leave a link in the description. They were coming off a magical 2017 campaign, and their quarterback Kyle Kempt was back as a senior. Behind Kempt was Connor Nolan, and then Purdy was sitting there at third. David Montgomery was arguably the best running back in the Big 12, and Hakeem Butler was going to emerge as a star. I actually also made a video about Hakeem Butler a few weeks ago, so be sure to check that one out too. Kempt would start in their Week 1 opener against Iowa, but he would go down with an injury in their loss. Nolan was inserted as a starter the following week against number 5 Oklahoma, and he struggled mightily. He would also start in their next 2 games against Akron and TCU, before a change was needed at quarterback. The true freshman Purdy started most of the game against number 25 Oklahoma State, and he went on to throw for 318 yards and 4 touchdowns in their road win against the Cowboys. Brock had already gotten his chance, and he took full advantage of the opportunity. He had proven he was legit in his first start, and he was going to be the future of the team. The following week, he threw for 250 more yards and 3 touchdowns in their huge upset win over Will Grier in West Virginia. And Iowa State was now becoming known for upsetting teams at home. He put up another 250 yards and 2 touchdowns against Texas Tech, and 3 more in their win over Kansas. The Cyclones were now 5-3 and jumped into the AP poll at number 23. They would beat Baylor despite a poor game from Purdy, but their 5-game winning streak was about to come to an end. On the road against number 15 Texas, Brock really struggled as he threw for no touchdowns and an interception in their road loss. Purdy would bounce back though, as he would throw for nearly 400 yards and 2 touchdowns in their close win over Kansas State. Despite only throwing for 1 touchdown, the Cyclones survived a scare from Drake as they won 27-24. Brock had led them back to a bowl game, and they were set to play number 13 Washington State in the Alamo Bowl. He would throw for 2 interceptions and no touchdowns in their close loss. As a true freshman, Purdy threw for 2,250 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions as he completed 67% of his passes. For a first-year starter, that was pretty good, and he was one of the best freshman quarterbacks in college football. Going into 2019, expectations went up for Brock and the Cyclones, but they would need to find a new running back and a go-to wide receiver first. At running back, Kene Nwangu, Johnny Lang, and Breece Hall would all get a chance to shine, and Deshaunte Jones and Tariq Milton would become the go-to wideouts. Iowa State started out the season ranked number 21 in the country and were picked to finish 3rd in the Big 12. They opened up the season against Northern Iowa, and unfortunately it took them 3 overtimes to finish them off, and Purdy would throw for 2 touchdowns. It was not a good look for the Cyclones, but College Game Day came to Ames the following week for their showdown in the Cy-Hawk Trophy game against Iowa. In a game that was delayed and took forever, Iowa State had a chance to win, but a late fumble on a punt return would end up costing them the game. Purdy struggled against the Hawkeyes, and the team's struggles against Iowa continued. He threw for 3 touchdowns against Louisiana Monroe, and 2 more in their loss to Baylor by way of a game-winning field goal. He was mediocre against TCU and West Virginia, but they won both those games. He broke out with a 3-touchdown performance in their win over Texas Tech before a huge matchup against Oklahoma State. The Cowboys' defense was ready this time, as Purdy would throw 3 picks in their close loss. Despite a career-high 5 touchdowns, they lost to Oklahoma after a failed 2-point conversion. They continued their home upset narrative in 2019 with a win over 19 Texas. He would then throw for 4 touchdowns in a win over Kansas, and he finished the regular season with a poor game against Kansas State, and the Cyclones lost. The team went 7-5 in the regular season, and for some reason were matched up against Notre Dame in the Camping World Bowl. In a matchup that I really did not like for ISU, they got blown out 33-9 by way of the number 15 Fighting Irish, and Purdy didn't throw for an interception or a touchdown in that game. As a sophomore, he was named to the All-Big 12 second team after he threw for 3,982 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions while completing 66% of his passes. Purdy became the best quarterback in the Big 12 behind Oklahoma's Jalen Hurts, and he's becoming a hot name for the 2021 NFL Draft. Going into 2020, I expect Iowa State to have a big year, as they have him coming back and Breece Hall has emerged as a young star at running back. The coaches poll actually came out today, and the Cyclones are starting out at number 25 in the country. I still feel like they need to figure out the wide receiver position though, as I think Purdy needs a true star to throw the ball to. Charlie Kolar is one of the best tight ends in college football, and he should definitely step up. A ton of sites have Purdy as a dark horse or a sleeper candidate for the 2021 NFL Draft, and some sites have him going as high as the late first round. Behind Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and North Dakota State's Trey Lance, there aren't many big names or elite names in the 2021 class, so some are looking for Brock to be the 4th best. He has shown the ability to make any throw on the field, and he really does well under pressure, has the size, the confidence, and the intangibles, plus he has the ability to run the ball, as he scored 13 rushing touchdowns in his 2-year career so far. I really like him, and I think he could be a good NFL quarterback someday, but we will just have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to watching Iowa State in a few weeks, and you guys should be too. If you enjoyed his story, think he's a good quarterback, or just want to support the channel in general, be sure to smash that like button, and every like helps this video and channel grow. If you are new, be sure to subscribe and help me reach 6,000 subscribers by the end of August, and drop a future video topic suggestion down in the comment section. If you are still here, check out my video about the rise of Akeem Butler and all my other college football story videos. Until next time though, peace.